question for you guys. Have y'all ever done something toxic, or do you still do something toxic?
Yes.
Like, or do you still do something that you would consider toxic?
What a heavy question. Introspection and all.
I still tend to not forgive people even if they've changed, even if their patterns have changed. I just find it very hard to believe when people say they've changed. So I don't give people that chance.
No second chances. You cross my boundary, you're out.
I feel like that's not fair always.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, say like family or even like people you were once very close to.
Glad you're self-aware.
Yeah, it's called therapy.
Neha, what about
I
you?
think I avoid people if they're making me uncomfortable. And I avoid them cold turkey, like you said. But that's also something I'm working on, like letting somebody know.
Yeah.
Because someone told me that you are doing it very casually.
Yeah, it's like straight
but
up
somebody
ghosting.
who's on the other end of it
They
is
have no idea what
yeah,
they did.
yeah. Just cutting them off because it makes me uncomfortable. I think that's my toxic trait.
I actually didn't know this trait in me was toxic until my therapist told me about it recently. But I have this rescuer's complex. Like, if I see people who I love or I'm close to be in a difficult situation, I feel like I have to personally meddle with the thing that they're going
Yes.
through
Yeah.
and fix it for them. So this friend of mine was dating this guy and they were having issues, but I just could not see her unhappy, and it came to a point where I got involved and I was like, no, you have to dump him, you have to cut him off, cut him off. You have to cut him off. Like, I just did not take into account that she's capable of handling this. She also, it's difficult, you can't just even if a
Leave
person,
someone you're in love with.
yeah, it doesn't matter if they're being toxic to you or not. It's really difficult to leave someone you're in love with. And these things just didn't occur to me. Like, I was like, you know what? No, you have to do this because I know it's better for you. So,
I think with that savior complex,
Yeah.
what happens is once there is nothing to save, like if there's nothing to rescue about you, I think some people just lose interest or like, I don't have anything to fix here, so I'm out.
there are some, like, I think one of the toxic traits that I just do not like in people is when they don't apologize for their mistakes.
My biggest problem with people who don't apologize is people who apologize weirdly, like, sorry if that hurt your feelings.
That's just passive
Sorry,
aggressive.
sorry if, first of all, I have very specifically told you that hurt my feelings. You're saying, sorry if that hurt your feelings. No, it did happen. Just say sorry, full stop, end it there.
Even conflict avoidant people, which comes with the people who don't apologize, right?
Yeah.
Like, if there's a fight, they'll just not talk to you. Oh my god, people who give cold shoulders.
Yeah, I
That's
think
that. As a person with anxiety, that just troubles me so much. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, they were wrong, but I want to finish this. I want to sort it out.
Also, I don't know if you guys did this, but at least in my early 20s, I felt like icing someone out as soon as they like went wrong, so that they come and approach you, especially when you're like dating.
Yeah.
You're
They
like,
come and ask you, is something
yeah,
wrong? What's bothering you?
Like, he should understand.
Yeah. Oh my
or like,
God.
or like my partner should understand where they went wrong.
What do you mean by did you do this in your early 20s? It's still a very normal form of
Shreya's
practice.
still in her early 20s.
I'm in my mid 20s, first of
No,
all.
it's early.
It's a
and
difference.
Call it early.
But yeah, like that's the point I'm making. I don't know if you guys did that a lot, but I realized, like, as women, we were told like, no, wait for the other person, or like wait for the man in most cases to approach you and be like, and you're like,
Yeah, that he should know.
he should know.
Yeah.
When it's just expected that everyone's going to read your mind, which again, unrealistic expectation from films and like pop culture in general,
Yeah.
which is that your partner is going to understand everything you feel like that's not how it works.
What about us? Like, do you guys find it difficult to apologize?
I think I'm somebody who apologizes, like even if it's not my mistake. So like if something's wrong, I will go like, I'm sorry. Did I do something wrong? Was it me?
There have been instances where people have fully taken advantage of
Yes,
that
yes.
and
So
refused to accept their mistakes. Like made you feel bad.
I'm saying
for-
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
you.
they've been like, okay, she said sorry, so it's,
Yeah, that's why I think it's a bad thing. Like saying sorry too much
Yeah.
is a bad thing.
I've had phases, like when I was a kid, I realized that I think for the first like 10 years of my life, my parents would have to keep telling me, learn how to say sorry, learn how to say sorry. And then I started saying sorry so much as a teenager and like someone in my early 20s. I would keep saying sorry to a point where people used to get annoyed. Like even people I was like going on dates with and stuff, I'll be like, oh God, I'm so sorry. They're like, why are you saying sorry? And I'm like, okay, yeah. Then I entered like my mid-20s Lizzo listening phase and I was like, I'm not going to apologize for anything. I realized there's just some like middle ground that I've reached now where I'm like, I will apologize for what I need to. Baki dekh lenge.
Fair. I actually recently got feedback from this friend of mine who was like, you expect me to do things without telling me that. And then, you're also expecting an apology from me when how am I supposed to know when you do this? And they also rightfully called me out about the fact that I have this tendency of saying really nasty stuff when I'm angry.
Yeah.
Yes, she does that so much.
So Shreya, you're just a Capricorn.
That's toxic.
But yeah, and so when they called me out, I was like, you know what, I'm going to take this feedback. I'm not going to, be like, ugh, no, you are the problem. So yeah, and then I thought about it. And before that, yes, I wouldn't apologize for things. But now I'm not saying that I don't say nasty things when I'm angry. I do. I still do. That is something I'm working on. But yeah, I do understand, I identify that trait of mine and I apologize for it. Like sometimes instantly. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, what am I saying? And I'm like, listen, I'm sorry, I did not mean that.
Yeah.
That has actually worked really well for me. So yeah. Since we are discussing about ourselves and our own toxic traits, I have a fun BuzzFeed quiz for y'all. So can you guys take it on your phone, please? So this is, take this quiz to find out how toxic you are.
Very excited.
And basically, there are just a bunch of questions for you that you have to answer. And then in the end, it will tell you your percentage of toxicity.
Difficulty controlling your anger. Not anymore.
You've cheated? No, never. I think cheated on though. Oh no.
You never admit when you're wrong. Yeah, no.
You don't like other people getting attention when you're around. Yes.
You compare yourselves to others. I think I do that.
You don't listen to others. Yeah, hella me. You say it's not me, it's you. My ex should take this quiz.
It's 0% toxic.
I'm also 0%.
0%.
I'm
All of us
zero.
are 0% toxic.
Yeah,
Love
maybe
this
we have
quiz.
toxic traits, but we are not toxic people.
Well. This
Shocking.
was an episode. This was a revealing episode for me. I really thought I could have been a villain, but now you have me convinced that I never will be. That's disappointing.
This is a wrap for this episode, and
Bye.
wait. Let me give you all a good exit. If you guys enjoyed this week's episode, then make sure you tune in next week for a new episode of Misunderstood the Assignment. You can listen to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or any streaming platform from where you get your podcast. And don't forget to give us a nice review and rating.